All right, we're going to talk about plastic bags and apex predators. So, when you're heading out in the outdoors, you're going to want to have a variety of plastic bags. Garbage bag, freezer bag, medium size could be helpful, and baggie, all for different reasons. Garbage bag, let's start with that, the biggest to the smallest. Your big old backpack. This is a Gregory backpack. Comes with a rain cover you can pull over it if it gets rainy, which is great and you should use it. So if you get caught in a downpour, you can take your backpack off and whip that sucker on. Or if you know rain's coming, you put it on preemptively. But normally, before you put anything in a backpack, put it in one of these first. All your clothes and that sort of stuff. Because these backpacks are not waterproof. So anything I talk about is always going to be layers, right? And this is kind of a backstop to having the rain cover on the outside. But yeah, this is great to have. You don't want to get put on wet and cold, wet clothes in the cold. I have done that and it's no fun. Especially stuff like socks, the worst. So keep them dry. Then we'll go to the freezer bag. So you put stuff like, typically, like your toothpaste and anything smells, any toiletries, sunscreen, stuff that has an odor. Especially if you're in bear country, grizzlies have a even better sense of smell than dogs. And this is not, so you put all this stuff in there, and it's not just to put it in there, it's so that you're able to pick all this stuff up as a unit and put it elsewhere, not in your tent. In Alaska, we took all our stuff that had a fragrance and put it away from camp in a plastic bag. So you throw all your stuff in your own little bag, then you put it in a big plastic bag which they hung from a tree. So it keeps it away out of your tent. So it's just as much for segregating your stinky stuff as for carrying it and keeping it separate. And it helps you keep track of it, so you don't have a loose tube of toothpaste floating around in a backpack or something. That's definitely it's not something you want. You want to find out, if you go hiking all day and you come back and your tent's all tore to bits because a bear smelled something that he wanted to get to. Medium could be, I don't know, could be a phone. Could be a couple things. Now, I mentioned this before. These chest packs, waist packs are fantastic, but they're not waterproof. So you want to, stuff that's valuable, like a wallet or a phone or anything electronic, or anything you don't want to get wet. Really, you put them in one of these before you put it in here. And that goes for, going back to what we were talking about before, the bigger bags, snacks and that sort of thing. You want to keep, anything edible in a bag just so it's in the bag and it's not floating around somewhere. The same kind of scenario, you don't want a granola bar floating around in a pack, a pack that you left in your tent while you did something else, and then a varmint will creep in, chew through your tent so you can get to it. And I've seen that happen. So these are important, not for just keeping stuff dry, but also segregating and being able to put this stuff elsewhere. And going back to here, we talked about keeping stuff in camp, toiletries, plus if you have snacks and that sort of stuff, you can throw them in this bag with the other stuff and take this whole thing and put it elsewhere away from your tent. So it's kind of a dual use, rain protection and then protection from varmints and apex predators tearing up your stuff. destroying your tent and that sort of thing. And they'll get into anything. I was in Kodiak, and a guide showed me a picture of a can of bear spray that a bear had bit into. So they'll chew into anything. So just keep it out of your tent, keep it away from camp. And there we go for plastic bags.